Welcome to Star Wars Action News, helping Star Wars collectors collect better.
And then to take a look at their Celebration exclusive, some Empire Strikes Back droids. We've got K-3PO.
I like him because he's a different color.
Yeah, he's a nice flat white.
And what's interesting is, the R2 units, they have opted into a million different colors, it seems, and all the Jedis had matched R2 units to their starfighters. And I think protocol droids are largely left untouched as far as customs and things go.
I mean, there's the chrome one from Phantom Menace and a few others, but yeah, I know there's a matte red one. We saw some in the background like R2 units, but there's less protocol droids.
Yeah, it just seems that people don't care about them as much. You could really custom these up really cool if you ever wanted to, but now let's talk about him, though. I guess I should not talk about his lack of diversity.
No, but actually, this is a repaint of their C-3PO R2-D2 2-pack, the regular one. And if you were into customizing, this exclusive one would be better because the C-3PO they release in the regular set is vac metallized. That you're going to have a hard time getting to take paint. This, they painted this nice matte white. You could do whatever you wanted to with it. And the tricky part in my mind would be the midriff section. Because of all the colored wires, they made it white in there as well. So if you were going a different color, you'd have to repaint that. That would be the trickiest area.
Yeah, it would be. And he's got a lot of doodads and doohickeys on it. The detail is amazing.
Yeah, incredibly. Like the little weird kind of sticky things that the 3PO units have on their hands that, like, they look like extra fingers, but when they make a closed hand, these things stick out straight. It still has these. Now, these are more model kitty than the Royal Guards.
Yes. This has a lighter heft. Like, I picked it up and I was surprised at how light it was, to be honest. It's like action figure light. And the plastic is it's durable. I'm not afraid I'm going to break it, but it is a very model plastic, if that makes any sense.
It's a vinyl statue. It comes in a lot more pieces than those very simple Royal Guards, though.
I was only able to pop off his head. What else comes off?
Well, he comes apart at the midriff, and then both arms come off, and then, because it is a repaint of the C-3PO, his right hand comes off, and you have two different right hands.
Oh.
Now, in this set, I have to say, for anyone who remembers Dana Carvey's old skit about action figure collecting and his kids, the difference here is very Megator Mega-T between these two hands. The difference is a little crook in a finger versus not.
Yes, it is one where he's clearly got like a trigger finger going, and the other is just a straight out hand.
This makes no sense with this figure set. Of course, if you know about their C-3PO R2-D2 figure set, it came with a communicator, so you could have C-3PO reenacting the trash compactor scene and holding the communicator. So what you have here is communicator hand, non-communicator hand. But without a communicator, Megator Mega-T.
Pretty much, yes.
But with that comes more posability. I know these are referred to as, really they call them painted model kits because of licensing. That's why they're snapped together, but they're pre-painted model kits. So they know it's not going to be like the Riddell ones that you have to paint and glue and do all of that art with. Here, it's a snap together, you get a figure, but because the arms come off, and the head comes off, you actually have, admittedly it's only 3, but some points of articulation, 4 if you count the wrist, I guess, where you can pose him, arms up before he gets shot by the snowtroopers, although he already has the blaster mark on him. You can have him arms down and just in a more neutral pose, but you've got a few options with him. Now, he does not stand well on his own, so he really needs that magnetic base that it comes with.
But see, I also think because the R2 unit is a little bigger and he's so tall, you could put them on one base too and they'd look perfectly fine together. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. You can share a base with these two figures.
Because all alone, he looks just like lonely, I guess is the word, on his base with no friends.
And I do love the detail they put into the paint. I did feel that scorch mark, and it is just black paint. There is not an groove or anything. I do believe the paint is raised a little bit on it. And maybe my imagination is right by the chest ridge, but it feels slightly raised. The 2 red dots on it are just painted on. They look like a command insignia, or if you look at it real close, the red and white somehow reminds me of a clown tie.
It kind of does, yeah.
But the fact that they painted the back knee joints and put the wiring in there.
It's a lot of detail for the price point and for the size of the figure.
Yeah, this was a great variant protocol droid. Now, I did order this from Kotobukiya.com because anytime they allow me to do that, I will happily pay their shipping versus having to take it to FedEx, have it boxed, shipped, and also have to worry about the lines.
Or carrying it around a convention or back to your hotel room.
And then they have R3-A2, the orange clear dome R2 unit. Now, they've done a lot of R2 units. I've been picking them up. Barnes & Noble has had some exclusive ones. There was a New York Comic-Con exclusive one last year. This is my first time opening up one with a clear dome, and I love how they put the mechanics inside there, and it's all sculpted. It's not just a decal or anything. They really sculpted everything inside there at different heights and different ways to bring the craftsmanship Kotobukiya puts in their name.
It kind of reminds me of those phones from the 80s. Do you remember the clear phones? Did your sisters have those?
Yes, I had it.
Yeah, I did too. That's what it reminds me of, is the clear phones, which were so freaking cool. Don't know why.
I had to have one because it had wires.
Yes, and circuit boards and fun stuff. That's what he looks like. I don't know if I necessarily enjoy the clear dome. And he kind of looks like, an orange vanilla, an orange Julius type of thing. The clear dome, I'm not sure I like it. I think I like the chrome dome or the white dome to match. I'm not saying it's bad in their craftsmanship. It's great. And they did a lot of detail inside. A little bit hard to see what's inside. I think you'd have to shine a light in to see extraordinary detail, but because it's kind of like a smoky clear in there, the items. Mm-hmm. Very cool, but it's just not my taste.
Yeah, but you're judging the aesthetic of the Empire Strikes Back prop designer, not Kotobukiya.
I am. That's correct. But Empire Strikes Back is around the time when those clear phones are out.
A few years earlier. I think I had one in 85 or 84.
That's about when we would have gotten our own phones, though. Yeah.
I had one from age 6, but...
You must have led a much more busy life than I did, sir.
I was a very busy child. I had appointments to make, damn it.
I'm sure you did.
Now, this one comes in far fewer pieces. It's only 4 pieces. The 2 side legs snap on, and then the bottom leg snaps on.
But there's no articulation in those, correct? He's just stuck in that pose.
Well, actually, there's a little articulation in the back ankle.
Robot ankle?
Well, I did have to read the instructions on this one to try to figure it out. Because it came with this other piece. I guess it's 5 pieces counting the body. And it came with some bottom wheels that perfectly matched the bottom wheels on his 3rd leg. It's been a while since I'd built one of these, and I completely forgotten what it took to assemble them. And you must remember, the wires are in the front of the R2 unit's feet to make this work right.
So I'm guessing that you did forget that?
I did.
Okay.
The legs have 2 positions. You can't swivel them at the body level. There's no articulation where the side legs meet the body, but there's 2 different poses it can go in. In the reclined position for 3 legs, or in the straight up and down position.
Oh, that makes sense. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and then the bottom twists off the 3rd leg, and they actually come with a cover. This may be more attention to detail than anyone ever needs, but you can put that wheel so it looks like a retracted 3rd leg on the bottom, and it screws in there, and now you have it in 2 legs with the wheels on the bottom, and that's why you bend the ankle area, is so that you have the same side feet, be it forward or reclined back a little bit.
Okay, they just won. They seriously just won with that. Because that attention to detail doing that is just amazing and very, I think, thoughtful and ingenious to design it that way. And I like him with just his 2 legs, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd like R2-D2 with 3 legs, but I like R3-A2 with 2. What I find funny is they use the magnets on the bottom of these feet again, and those are visible magnets on the bottom. And it's only if you were seeing the magnets that I think you'd ever see that 3rd wheel reclined there. I mean, they could have skipped that and I wouldn't have dinged them an ounce.
No, that's really just clever. I really think that's awesome.
And then their exclusive sets, be it at Barnes & Noble or cons, come with a coin. And we got this nice, hefty Star Wars Celebration 2015 coin. And it comes in a nice keep case, too. You can take the coin out of it, but it really is in a nice case. It's displayed in the side of the packaging. And I love the 4 statues we've talked about, but nothing impresses me as much as this coin. And the just carving they did on it, it took me back to the early days of Star Wars Action News. I'm thinking 2007 maybe, when they were doing the etched glasses.
Love those. Those are my favorite thing. I hand carried those when we moved because I love those so much and they're so awesome.
And so fragile.
Yes.
I wish they still made those. I don't know if it was the fragility or licensing, or they didn't sell well. I do remember finding some on clearance at one point, and we talked about just getting extras for redundancy because they were so fragile.
I would never drink out of them.
No.
Let's just make it clear there. They're just for pretty show.
But it was around the time they started the first chop sabers and all of that, and we're moving into the housewares arena. But the sculpting on those glasses was so amazing, and I haven't seen that level of etching or kind of work from Koto until I saw the astromech on this coin.
I was admiring that, and that is just really good. When they tooled the die, they did a good job on it.
Yeah, and the crisp lettering on the back with the Celebration logo and everything. And it does only say R3-A2. They're kind of sticking with the coins for their exclusive R2 units. Sorry, K-3PO, no coin for you. But just a nice little extra collectible detail there.
Yeah, it is really nice. And if you have never seen those glasses, they're really worth looking up and looking at them just to admire the craftsmanship. They were all done by hand, very limited quantities, and just beautiful.
And extraordinarily rare, as there are none on eBay right now.
Yeah, I was just looking, and there is not a single one.
So I think I'm getting more and more into the Artifacts line here, especially as they do more original trilogy. Every time I see that diorama we were talking about with the Stormtroopers and the Darth Vader, it always makes me just astonished. And with the Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewbacca they have coming out, I did talk to Dan Luan, and he has confirmed that this fall they will be bringing out some of the old sold-out favorites, the Stormtrooper, the Darth Vader, the Boba Fett. So if you've been missing out on these original trilogy statues that are at a great scale for display, even in a small area, keep an eye at Barnes & Noble or your favorite online retailer like DorksideToys.com to get yours. But yeah, I wasn't a huge fan back when they did the Clone Wars ones, but they've brought the realistic style, a great price point, and a great size here.
I think the price point is one thing that is just amazing because you get such a value with these figures. I mean, the level of detail and, you know, the posability is not necessarily everybody do even need it. You're able to pose the droids together, maybe with his hand resting on the dome and look cute. And you have a little bit of maneuverability with moving them on the bases. You don't have to stick with the pose that it comes out of the box with.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. I really think these are a great value, and I'm not saying that because they're cheap or anything. I'm saying because of what you get for the price point and what you can do with it is great.
Thanks for watching this video. You can see full episodes of Star Wars Action News with more collecting news and reviews at swactionnews.com. We also have thousands of toy and collectible photos in our photo gallery. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. May the pegs be stocked and the Force be with you.